having a hit on Kongregate was the pinnacle of success for a web game. So yeah, there we were, doing well. The Dungeon team was well received, highly rated, had a large number of players pouring into it. Servers were totally pooping themselves until I sort of got them working, and then they were too expensive for me to operate a business. But the other thing that is interesting about that release is that the only game mode at the time was the arena, which is now sort of in the background. It's the only real-time PvP game mode, a manually controlled mode. All the other game modes, auto chess. But originally the whole game was conceived as sort of a spin on a game of chess. You played against people and you would grind levels against people. You could fight other people's squads asynchronously with the AI controlling their team if they weren't online. But you always manually controlled your own units, and you could play, if your opponent was online at the time, synchronously, where everybody manually controlled their units. And that was the only thing that there was. And people were liking it, even with it being just that. But what is now kind of the primary game mode, which is the Caverns, PvE, auto battle, dungeon crawl game mode, that was actually added later. It was added later from my side for two reasons. Number one, I had a game called Dungeon Team that didn't actually have a dungeon in it. And number two, it was a business attempt to improve my retention metrics. I wanted people to be hooked on the game. You're supposed to want that, so that's what I did. It was a way of getting people to keep the game running. This whole thing that is now kind of the central game mode, where you can run Dungeon Team in the background while you do other things and check on it. But yeah, that was an afterthought. That was slapped on after poorly solving the server stability and scalability issue. The scalability issue actually hadn't been solved yet, but the stability issue. And it was like, yeah, we need something that kind of keeps people in the game even when there aren't other people to fight against. So that's how Caverns was born. Originally, this was part of my back-end architecture problem. The battle engine was written for the back end and only ran in a server to host stateful battle engines. Now that I had invented a game mode that people, instead of having 2 to 10 minute sessions of PvP fighting with this game engine running, they were leaving the Caverns running for hours, sometimes overnight or even for days. I was utilizing a lot of compute power on these cloud service providers that was costing me a bunch of money, making the whole endeavor not profitable. I couldn't scale it. I couldn't afford to do that.